I was talking to Helwani today. I did his podcast with him, and we got on the topic of Paulo Costa. I thought that Paulo Costa's reaction to the main event, the lackluster main event of Yoel Romero and Israel Adesanya, was very interesting because Paulo Costa got up and left. I knew he got up and left because Israel Adesanya turned to him to call him out, and it was an empty seat. Paulo wasn't in anymore. So I thought, oh, Paulo left. Then I see an interview with Paulo backstage being interviewed by Brett Okamoto. And Paulo was very somber, and he said, I'm sad. It makes me sad the way that fight went. And I didn't know if the word sad, that's what I was zoning in on. I didn't know if the word sad was like a language barrier as Paulo is just beginning to master the English language, and perhaps he used a word that maybe he wouldn't have used if he had more of an understanding. But judging by his body language, he also looked very somber when he said it. He looked like he was genuinely sad. I thought, well, I'm going to take him at his word. I'm not going to interpret this as he misspoke. I'm going to take him at his word. He's sad about this. He's sad as a middleweight, as a top middleweight, as somebody who cares about the middleweight division. He is sad that they now get a little bit of a black eye from having a fight that wasn't what we expected, action-wise. Okay. So I bring that up to Ariel. I go, what did you make of Paulo? Paulo got up and left. He was disgusted. He goes in the back. He interviews with Brett. Somber tone. Said he was sad. Ariel starts laughing at me. He goes, no, Chael, he never got up and left, man. They threw him out. I said, what? He said, yeah, Paulo Costa, after the fight, tried to rush the cage with like his manager or something. Security had to come and throw him out. Go, oh. Well, that kind of changes things. That kind of changes my perspective a little bit. I didn't realize that had happened, but Paulo Costa just wants this fight so bad, which is very interesting. We have just been cursed with so many wimps in MMA. So many fake tough guys that want the credit, but they don't want to do the work. And some of that old school mentality is coming back. It's coming back starting at the top. Adesanya, as the king of that division, as the leader of that division, has set a totally new tone for what it means to be a fighter and to be a competitor, but you are starting to see from that leadership, guys are getting in line. I mean, guys are getting in line and they're understanding we go out and we compete whenever we're given the opportunity to go out and compete for as high of stakes as we can possibly get signed to. That's what this is. And if you don't have the courage or the guts for that, you've got to get the hell out of the way. It's the courage and guts business. You got it or you don't have business. So when I do look at Paulo Costa, though my interpretation was wrong, it turns out he was escorted to the back by UFC security. He didn't walk to the back on his own. Why I did have that part wrong, I don't have it wrong that he wants this fight. I don't have it wrong that he even apparently went and got a fake doctor or a buddy or something that is still a little bit yet to be disclosed to try to give him a no to get him in there even faster. I mean, there is something about this. Israel Adesanya is very intimidating. He's a very scary, and he's a very dynamic guy. When you have Paulo Costa, who is less dynamic but equally as intimidating, who makes up for some of those unusual techniques with good raw power. I mean, that is a fascinating match to the highest of levels. The X's and the O's of that match, I will be very curious when the line comes out on that. And I have a feeling that Adesanya is going to be a favorite, but I also have a feeling that it's going to be ever so slight. And I'm not sure that at some point Costa doesn't actually become the favorite and then it trades back and forth. I could very easily see it being one of those. I mean, this is going to put the Dave Masons of the world, the Anthony Albaneses of the world, in some of the hardest and tightest positions to come out with a good straight line on this, because these guys are so completely different, and the only thing that they share in common is they cannot wait to fight.